waar die wilgers welig spruit, doringboom sy skadu sprei, soos ons groei in kundigheid, mag U ons lei. Sien ons hoe hier lei met die hand, laat U sien rus oor ons land. Three strong streams united flow, Africa stands proud and tall. As we learn, we trust, we know God is in control. Bless us, O Lord, guide us with grace. May Northwest be blessed always. Bless us, O Lord, sien ons hier. Orite Jehovah Semporena, sien ons, bless us, O Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you. Okay, maybe you didn't understand, so I'll say goeienaand. And for those who didn't even understand goeienaand, then I will say tapama e monata. So it is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to this very special occasion, the inaugural address of this beautiful young lady in front here, Prof Ermie Steenkamp. I want to express a warm welcome to Prof Daryl Balia, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Northwest Campus Operations on the Potchefstroom campus. Prof Herman van der Merwe, Deputy Dean, Teaching and Learning. Prof Verona Leenders, Deputy Dean, Research and Innovation, both from the Faculty of Economic and Management Sciences. Prof Wynand Krobler, just trying to find him right, okay. Prof Wynand Krobler, Director of the School of Economic Sciences, and his two Deputy Directors of the School of Economic Sciences, Prof Andre Heymans and Prof Steve Dunga. Welcome to the colleagues from the other campuses of the Faculty of Economic and Management Sciences, and also colleagues from other faculties of the Northwest University. Also, a very special word of welcome to Prof Marianne Mathieu from Gibbs and Karika Klaassen from the University of Johannesburg. A warm welcome also to the family and friends of Prof Ermie Steenkamp, who are here tonight, especially her husband, Philip, children Ruan, Kylene, and Alisa, her parents, Ruben and Annelies Jacobs, brothers Rulof and Nico Steenkamp, sister-in-law Pietro Steenkamp, as well as brother-in-law FR and sister Carly Bezuidenhout. Welcome to all of you. Today is a very proud occasion for the Faculty of Economic and Management Sciences, the Northwest University, and all of us here. Inaugural addresses are an essential component of the university's public events program, helping to create a broader awareness of the latest developments in research, in the faculty, as well as the university. It also provides a platform for the university to showcase its academics, introduce them to the academic and non-academic community of the university, and allow engagement with the public. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks not only a milestone in Prof. Ermie's academic journey, but also a celebration of dedication, perseverance, and excellence in the pursuit of knowledge. Achieving the rank of full professor represents one of the highest honors within the academic community, a recognition earned through extensive and rigorous scholarship, impactful teaching, and an unwavering commitment to service. In the field of economics, excellence requires more than analytical skill. It demands intellectual curiosity, rigorous critical thinking, and a deep understanding of the economic forces and societal dynamics that shape our world. Achieving full professorship in this discipline reflects not only a record of scholarly commitment and achievement, but also thought leadership. It is also representative of a commitment to guiding future staff towards responsible practice and ethical stewardship. So your journey only starts here, Ermie. It's not an end. So at this stage, the professor stands not at the end of the journey, but at a new beginning. To become a full professor is to take on a new mantle of leadership as a scholar, mentor, and a custodian of professional values. It is a role that carries both privilege and profound responsibility to continue shaping the future of economics, economics education, to influence policy and practice, and to illuminate the path of those who will follow you. Ermie, tonight you can celebrate a very significant milestone and share your research interests with family, friends, and colleagues. This inaugural address allows the university to recognize and showcase your academic achievements. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take you through a few of my interactions with Ermie. She knows that during the time that I interviewed her for this position, she displayed a lot of passion, and if I didn't stop her, then she would have continued talking. But that is a passion she has for whatever she does. So while you actually celebrate a significant personal milestone, this inaugural lecture will also give you the chance to really freely express whatever you want to express in terms of your research. I've seen your passion, I've seen your dedication, and I know that tonight you're going to keep us well entertained during your inaugural address, people, places, and publications, an academic journey. And I'm sure you're going to keep us very well captivated. But before we give you the floor, I want to request Prof. Andre Heymans, the Deputy Director, School of Economic Sciences on the Potchefstroom campus, to come and formally introduce you.
Ermie, so I've got the first draft here. I hope it's the same as the one in the booklet. And before I start reading it, I want to just quickly say that Ermie and I actually studied together in our honors year. So this is obviously very special to me to be able to read your biography. And yeah, may it be a wonderful evening for you and your family. Okay, so Prof. Ermie Annelies Steenkamp was born on the 11th of December in 1982 in Potchefstroom, the eldest of three daughters of Ruben and Annelies Jacobs. She married Philip, her steadfast confidant, in October 2005, and they are blessed with 3 children. The eldest, Ruan, born June 2009, and he's a dedicated young man with a warm and loyal nature who enjoys cricket. Kaylin, born July 2011, is a gentle and creative soul, with an angelic voice who never speaks ill of others. The youngest, Elisa, born April 2017, is an energetic and determined girl who loves being around people, sprinting, and playing netball. Prof Ermie matriculated in 2000 from Hoërskool Potchefstroom Gymnasium with 7 distinctions nonetheless. She began her tertiary studies in 2001 at the former Potchefstroom University of Christian Higher Education, now NWU, completing a BCom in Economics and Statistics cum laude in 2003, a BCom Honours in Risk Management cum laude in 2004, and an MCom in Economics cum laude in 2006. During her studies, she was recognized as the top undergraduate student in economics over 3 years, as well as the best honors student. Sorry, Ermie, but at least I got the best masters, eh? But you also got the best masters. So in her masters here, she got the best masters, and obviously for all the other years, she got cum laude. Her academic career began in 2007 as a lecturer, and in May 2011, she obtained a PhD at the NWU titled The Identification of Export Opportunities for South African Products, with special reference to Africa. Since then, she has made significant contributions to teaching, research, and community engagement. Career highlights, and this is a long list, include presenting a 2013 training program for South Africa's foreign economic representatives participating at the World Trade Organization chair program since 2014, presenting papers at 2 WTO conferences in Geneva, and contributing a chapter to the WTO publication in 2016. In 2017, Prof Ermie founded the Faculty of Economic and Management Sciences Economic Literacy Centre to promote personal financial literacy among young South Africans through interactive learning tools. Since its inception, the Centre has benefited numerous school, student, and community groups, and has become a feature in campus tours for visiting students. Her research portfolio includes 27 accredited publications, with her work on trade promotion informing policy at international, national, provincial, and industry levels. She successfully supervised 10 masters and 5 PhD students, as well as more than 40 honors mini dissertations. Over the years, she has taught the 10 different modules in the School of Economic Sciences and contributed to the development of 4 courses. She particularly enjoys teaching practical data analysis and incorporating blended learning into her approach. Prof Ermie has also bridged academia and industry through 13 successfully completed commercial projects. She is currently busy and serves as a key contributor to the Africa Trade Enhancement Initiative, which received NWU strategic funding in 2024 as well as 2025. The project involves developing a visual platform that maps global trade opportunities on product, industry, country, bilateral, and regional levels. Her commitment to internationalization is reflected in her participation in the NWU's 2024 delegation to the London School of Economics and Political Science, which led to the collaboration opportunities with the LSE Firoz Lalji Institute for Africa, focusing on enhancing trade across the continent. Prof Ermie's work exemplifies the integration of academic research with practical impact, contributing meaningfully to South Africa's broader development objectives.
don't want it to fall off while I'm talking. I'm truly honored to stand here tonight. Not a single publication or a student-supervised or industry project was done alone. Every single one of those was done as a team effort. And it's really a privilege for me and with a thankful heart that I stand here with you, my family, my friends, my colleagues, the people who made it possible. So tonight's really special to me in that regard. My children asked me when they were younger, what does mommy do? To keep it simple, I'm a teacher to bigger children who finished school, more or less. So I hope after tonight they will have a better understanding of what I do. I just want to give you a broad overview of my academic journey. And I want to highlight the opportunities that I had and the people that I worked with, and just with a very thankful heart. And I think it's a real privilege tonight to have this occasion and to be able to celebrate it with you. So I'm going to talk about people, places, and publications, and share a few highlights of my academic journey. Okay, so soon after I started studying, I knew I wanted to stay in academia, and obviously then pursued postgraduate studies. Coming from a teacher's home, my master's dissertation was on economic education, and it was quite fitting. And during that time, I traveled to Mexico. I had a great opportunity there to attend a workshop hosted by the United States National Council for Economic Education. So during this workshop, we visited an economic literacy museum in Mexico City, which made a huge impression on me. In this old building with many levels, there's many interactive games that school groups go and play there to teach them basic economic principles. And I remember one specific room, it's there on the left-hand side, your right-hand side. It's a big table with a world map on it and with different bars. And then when you push the button, for instance, GDP per capita, then those bars goes up and down, and you can get an idea of economic distribution of economic development around the world. And this sparked a big dream in my heart. And that dream was realized 10 years later when I had the opportunity to develop the faculty's Economic Literacy Centre. So as an academic, we do teaching. That's very common, and students think we just do teaching, but we really don't just do teaching. Research and then community engagement. So this was a community engagement initiative where we want to use our expertise and knowledge to benefit the community. And the target group of this initiative is young adults. So the center features interactive computer-based games to teach personal finance principles, budgeting, saving, paying your debt first, and then the power of compound interest. And we have developed a promotional video that I want to show you just now. But completing this triangle of teaching, community engagement, and research, we had a PhD student that evaluated the content of the center and embedded it in the literature, and then she created a framework to evaluate the effectiveness of such an intervention on the actual perception and behavior change of students that had the experience of playing and learning in the center. So that was my first attempt at qualitative research, and I think it really formed me as an academic, and I wanted to mention it here and show you the picture that we created. Okay, so this is a video that we have compiled. For future developments of the center, so you will see at the end we would like to take it further, and it gives you a picture of what the center looks like and what we do there.
What if learning about money could be as fun as playing a game? Because when people understand how to manage money, they build better futures, stronger families, and thriving communities. Inclusive personal financial education doesn't just change lives, it fuels economic growth. That's why the Economic Literacy Centre was created, to help people make smarter financial decisions through hands-on learning. Here, visitors explore real-world principles like saving early, paying off debt, and understanding how money grows over time, all through interactive games, videos, and relatable examples. From students to small businesses, the centre is empowering communities to make confident choices about their financial future. This concept can be expanded across key locations and can even be launched as an app, bringing financial literacy to even more people, anywhere, anytime. Because when people learn to manage money wisely, they don't just change their future, they change the world around them.
Okay, so our next stop is Belgium. This is where I decided on a PhD topic, and having encountered a little bit of international trade courses during my undergraduate studies, it really sparked an interest in the big data of imports and exports. So globally, trade produces detailed product level import and export data every day, and international market selection models filter through this information and then identify trade opportunities. So this really intrigued me, and it formed the basis of my PhD and then the rest of my research career. So during my PhD, I had the opportunity to visit Prof Ludo Kuyfer in Belgium at the University of Antwerp. If you look closely, you spot us there in front of the building. Prof Ludo is one of the original authors of international market selection model called the decision support model, and this method was specifically developed initially for Belgian government export promotion purposes. And I had the opportunity to work with Prof Ludo and get his inputs into my PhD. So this model filters through all possible worldwide product and country combinations and selects winners by means of cutoff criteria. We look at the size of import demand and the growth of import demand, the concentration of competitors in markets, and then the market accessibility. And for my PhD, I applied this model for South Africa and then specifically in the African continent, but my main contribution was in filter 3, where we had to redesign the market access filter for South African purposes. So more recently, on the other side of the slide, we have adapted the model a little bit to be able to identify bilateral trade opportunities for regional trade promotion. So specifically in Africa mostly, that's why we have it there on the African map, but we match the import demand in all African countries with the export supply, so competitive export supply, and then we evaluate actual trade. So it's actually quite simple. We just match supply demand and see whether that potential is actually realized in actual trade or not. So in a recent study, we found that 48% of trade opportunities in sub-Saharan African countries, between them, all of them, remained untapped, while the same figure for Southeast Asia was only 7%. So we see that there's a lot of potential in Africa that remains unrealized. So over the years, I've been involved with different applications of the model. These pictures are of 2 books where we have contributed chapters to in the books. I'm not going to tell you about each and every application, so don't worry. I am very passionate about it. But I won't tell you about everything tonight. I just want to highlight a few studies, just 3. So there was a study on seasonal export opportunities for South African fruits. So normally when we run the model, we use yearly data, but for this particular study, we used monthly data and monthly production data, and we found a lot of opportunities in Eastern Europe for South Africa in the months that the Northern Hemisphere suppliers are out of season. Another study that I've done with my colleagues from agricultural economics is a red meat study that identified alternative markets for Namibian red meat because of the over-reliance on Western European markets at the time, and there were talks about changes in trade agreements. So they asked us to identify new markets for their products. Then another application that I would like to highlight was how we can use this international market selection methods to inform trade policy. So we all are very aware of what's happening in the news with AGOA and the United States and tariffs going up. And this study, we did the study before all of this, but it showed how we can use prioritizing and actually identifying import demand match with export demand, export supply matches, and in both directions, how we can really inform and prioritize trade negotiations and don't just take a shotgun approach and try to get all tariffs, as many tariffs as we can down. And I think it's really relevant now, especially with the US raising their tariffs. Then more recently, I've worked on export survival and how it relates to trade potential, and then also on regional trade promotion. Our next stop is Switzerland. So while we were working on all of these different applications and presenting at conferences, we came across the World Chair Program. So the WTO has this chair program where they fund developing country universities and specifically international trade research and teaching. And Prof Vivier, after a very rigorous application process, she received the chair, the South African chair in 2014. So as part of her core team, I was involved in all 3 the pillars of this program. Research, curriculum development, and policy outreach. So the outreach was just to get our results visible to policymakers. So under curriculum development, we had a very big opportunity to develop a course, honors level course in international trade on research methods, but specifically applying it to international trade data. And we received technical assistance from the WTO's Economic Research Department, and they visited us here in Potchefstroom for training. So that was a big highlight to me. And then it was also a really big privilege that left a lasting impression on me to be able to present at the WTO at 2 of their conferences. So when you enter the gates at the WTO, they take your passport. And you're like, oh, are you going to give that back? You go through security like you're at an international airport, and you enter a world where there's policymakers, business people, academia from around the world. It is a magnificent stage, and I think this picture at the bottom here showed the opening of that one conference that we presented. And that really made a lasting impression on me and on my career. So that's really a big highlight to me. Then the last stop is London in the UK, where we recently visited the London School of Economics, but specifically their Institute for Africa. And there, Prof David Luke, we met him there. He's a policy expert on trade in Africa. And the purpose of our visit was to explore collaboration opportunities with them. So the result of this visit was that Prof Luke became an extraordinary professor with us, and he visited us earlier this year. He presented guest lectures to our students. He's also an advisor on our strategic project, and we have initiated research that we are going to do with him on trade promotion in Africa. So Prof Luke's next visit is planned for next year, February, and we're really looking forward to further collaboration with him. Then the product, so that was not in my title, but it's also a nice P to add. So this is we've developed this platform that visualizes these export or trade opportunities between countries, regions, and specific country, specific products, more like in a region, export opportunities on visual maps, and illustrating the data in graphs, and it's kind of a build-up of culmination of all of our research built into one platform. So I'm just going to show you one example, one of really thousands of export opportunities. But this one is for South African mandarins. So for my children, that is narkies. To Eastern Europe, because it also relates to a previous example that I used. And so there's an export opportunity for South Africa to export mandarins to Poland, Romania, and Bulgaria. So if you go you click on that little arrow next to Romania, you can see what their growth rates look like over time. The green turquoise bars, those are the kata values. So you can see there's growth in that market, and you can see who the competitors are: Greece, Turkey, Germany, and Spain. And we know that these are Northern Hemisphere competitors in that market, and South Africa's market share, it's there on top of the pie graph, is really very small, but we already have a foot in the market. So if we compare that market to Poland, so Romania compared to Poland, we can see that Poland is a bigger market with similar growth rates, but South Africa has tapped into the Polish market much more than in Romania, and because they are close by, we would face similar market access and logistical issues in that market. In both those markets, I think, for instance, Romania would be a good market to go and explore and see how we can increase our exports there. Okay, then lastly, the people. So I divided this into the people whose names are in my CV, because when I sat down and wrote down those names, I thought, this is what tonight is all about, to celebrate this team effort. Without you, I wouldn't have been able to stand here. So the people on my CV, it's Prof Ludo, Prof Wilma, who laid the foundation of my research career, Sonia, Adelia, Ernst, David, Waldo, Rian, Lorraine, Carly, Mariska, Alicia, Christy, and Marion. I've learned so much from each one of you. You're all my colleagues, and like I said, without this team effort, I wouldn't have been here tonight. May we publish much more together in future, and I really, truly enjoy working with you. And at this point, I would again also like to thank Marianne and Karike for traveling far in the middle of the week, in the middle of many responsibilities at home, to be here tonight. And then I would also like to thank and mention my master's and PhD students, Aliska and Anneke, Armand, Gabriel, Ingrid, Johan, McLean's, Mario, Nicola, and then very close to my heart, Carly, Lorraine, and Mariska, who are also now my colleagues. What a privilege to have been involved in your postgraduate studies as well. So to my postgraduate students, I would like to say, may you grow taller than I could ever be, because that is the ultimate goal of being a teacher. Then the people behind the CV supporting me. Firstly, the management team that are also here tonight, Prof Bolia, Prof Babs, Prof Verona, Prof Herman, the directors, Prof Wynand, Prof Steve, Andre, Sandri, Leandi. Thank you very much for allowing us to balance our research with social responsiveness, with industry involvement, and to incorporate that into our teaching. I would really like to thank you for this opportunity tonight to celebrate this milestone and to be able to take a look at or reflect upon my journey, and to really appreciate the people around me again. Prof Babs, thank you very much for your guidance during my preparation for this inaugural lecture. I really appreciate that you took the time out of your very busy schedule to share your experiences with me. Then Ermie, who's Ermie? Thank you for making tonight extra special. It's like clockwork. She just said, what would you like to have on your tables? And then I sent her a picture, and it's like, done, you know. And when they showed me the table, I'm like, it's perfect. There's no need to add anything. So really thank you for making this night very special. You really handle this with a lot of style and efficiency. And I would like to ask Alisa to just give you something quickly. Then also thank you to Jona and Leon for supporting Ermie and for making everything work like clockwork tonight. Then to our friends who are here tonight, Haugaard, happy birthday. We arranged this party especially for you. You can thank me later. To you and Carlene, Jan and Riona, Gerard and Suzanne, you are true friends to us through thick and thin. Our children are growing up together, and it's really a privilege to share that with you. You ground me when I feel that I'm going to drop a ball or two or three or four. And you remind me which balls are important to keep in the air and which ones I can just gracefully put down. It's really a privilege to have you in our lives, and we really appreciate and love you guys. Then, my colleagues in the School of Economics, I'm only going to mention those whose names I haven't said yet. Adelia, Andrea, Anmar, Anton, Alida, Beverly. Alida, we still see you as our colleague. You're still in the in group. Beverly, Karike, you too, you as well, Marion. Derek, Henry, Ilza, Johnny, Lowell, Marlies, Tabo, Johnny, Vomi, Mariette, Lerotu, and Kabila. I really appreciate each one of you. We share every day a lot of coffees and joys and challenges. There's not a day that I go to work that I do not look forward to seeing you guys. Don't always look forward to the work, but I look forward to seeing you guys. And not to mention Derek's songs in the corridors. And his frequent reminders that I'm married to the best husband in the world. And that he can do nothing wrong ever. You've all become valued friends of mine, and the way you care for each other is truly inspirational. If I think of what you did, we did as a school for Evert when he was sick, yeah, you are just inspirational to me. I really love and appreciate all of you. And then my family, brothers and sisters, Rulof, Niku, Pietru, Harry, Karen, Reino, Gerda, Efar, and Carly, my parents, Ruben and Annelies, Johan and Rinda, and my children, Ruan, Kaylin, Alise, and my husband, Philip. You will never know how much each of you mean to me. You have enabled me in many ways to be a working mom. Without you, I couldn't have done it. You are my heart, you are my home, you are my soundboard, you are my support and my resting place, and I truly love each one of you. Thank you.
Good evening. Goeienaand, Dumelang. A warm word of welcome to each and every one of you to this inaugural lecture here this evening. It is a very significant occasion for a number of reasons, but I will mention just what some of these reasons are. Firstly, I can't remember doing an inaugural lecture of somebody who's been born and bred in Potchefstroom, who just came to the university from the other side of the road. So it feels as if today is a great celebration, not simply of an academic, but of Potchefstroom itself, of the town, and what we give birth to here. So it's great to have somebody from Chimmies, that's just next door, doing so well there and choosing to come to us and eventually become the professor that you are today. It's also a significant occasion because it's the last inaugural lecture for 2025, which the Northwest University will be holding. So you can always, when you think about today, yours was the last for the year. So it's almost as if it has a Christmas feel to it. And I got that when I came. I don't know if it was the champagne doing the talking or what, but there was a great sense of joy and celebration and laughter, which is what inaugural lectures are meant to be. Well, one angle to that is the fact that, and I want to emphasize this, you know, no one becomes a professor by living on an island, academically speaking. You have been nurtured and you grew and journeyed along the way to becoming a professor by interacting in a particular context with a particular team, a group of people, with the strong support of a family, and having a very sharp, you know, focus, which has been driving you over the years. So today is as much a celebration of your achievements, but within this context, which is the Faculty of Economic and Management Sciences, which has been ably led by Professor Bab Surijlal. It's also a special occasion for him because this is the last time we will allow him to wear that gown. He might stick around and do research with us next year, but he won't be the executive dean, and we won't allow him to wear that gown. So it's going to be a special occasion for him to remember, and knowing that he has helped you along the journey, and especially in preparing you for today. You know, 2 weeks ago we had an inaugural just down the road, also from this glorious faculty, which we say it's the cash cow of the university, because they bring us all the great students, the fee-paying students, but they also produce the accountants and the economists, you know. So I was saying to the colleagues 2 weeks ago that accounting was my favorite subject. And today, I must confess, economics was my worst subject. When I took that matric exam, I remember swatting 20 essays, and only one appeared. Only one, you know, and I thought, what was all this preparation for? So I really needed to come to your economic literacy program. But as I began to reflect on your research, it is something that is so necessary for us in our country. In fact, I was speaking to some colleagues yesterday, and they were saying, as far as community development goes, won't it be wonderful if we can have like a full day of, you know, of classes, maybe on a Saturday, and share the basics of economic literacy with the community. I hope we can talk about that in the years ahead, because your work is so critical for the upliftment of people to understand the basics of economics in a way that I didn't when I was at school. But there are two things I want to emphasize to us today, and I thank Prof Babs for his speech, so I'll try not to repeat anything that you said. The two are related, but the one thing is that to become a professor, you have to get into a marathon. It's a, you know, you cannot run a sprint and become a professor. If you become a professor that way, it's not authentic. But if those who want to succeed, if they enjoy academic and intellectual freedom, they have the chance to shape a field of knowledge like some of our colleagues here have already done, and they experience a profound reward of educating future generations. And I suppose that applies to you here today. Becoming a professor is hard work indeed. So what this is about at the end of the day, it's a celebration, colleagues, friends, visitors who've come. What we are doing here, we are celebrating meritocracy. Okay, it's very important to emphasize this in our country when people are getting jobs because of who you know or because of what you paid to somebody. Meritocracy is a system in which advancement and success are based on an individual's talent, their effort and achievements rather than on their wealth, their social status, their race, their gender, and other privileged circumstances. You get to the top by running the marathon, by working hard, as you have done, Ermie, and for that we congratulate you. The core idea is that the most talented and hardest working people rise to the top and are rewarded with positions of power, with influence and high income. So we hope your wealth also increases in the future. Congratulations, it's a great honor to share this occasion with you, and we look forward to many years of your service and dedication and commitment to the students, to our research project, and your work with all the colleagues here today. Thank you and congratulations.